This week, we make our own country song. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Cream of the Crop podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Onyx. I, as always, joined by Olas and KJ. Welcome, gentlemen.
We did that in sync. That was
That was
nice.
pretty good. Yeah, we
Funny enough,
just
I'm not
kidding.
looking at
We
it.
did it. It was on
I have no
purpose. We
idea.
counted it down. We practiced a few times.
Synchronized watches.
Yeah. Welcome. It's been a week of nonsense. Between. Well, I don't want to spoil it because there's one of these topics I'm a little passionate about, and my wife's been hearing me talk about for 4 days now. But yeah, we'll jump right into it with a little This Week in Geek. Starting off, and at this point, I feel like we've talked about this almost every week, so I guess I'll just do a play-by-play every podcast to let you know where we're at with it. But we did talk about last week that the company that was making, or the company that got handed Knights of the Old Republic after Asprey got taken off of it, Asprey being the Battlefront 2 people, the deal did go through and they did get bought out. So they got acquired from, what was the studio name? Embracer Studios. And so the company that is doing it right now is Saber Interactive. And they own a variety of things. Oddly enough, one of the games they own is Pinball FX from like the early 2000s.
Like the one that's always installed on Windows?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, that's fucking awesome. I didn't know that. But they were purchased by Beacon Interactive, who ironically the head of that is also the head of Saber. I don't fully understand how that one worked, but I think it's a group of people own Beacon, and just one of them happens to be also like the chief executive with Saber. But they got bought out for $500 million. It's pretty decent little chunk there, and it included a bunch of other studios with Saber, Madhead, just to name a few, Madhead, Nimble Giant, Splitgate, New World Interactive, who obviously is Amazon's like New World game they did, Bytex, 4A, and Zen. So it is looking like this game has some life. The only downside is that this was the company that was behind the Metro Light games. I don't know if either of you've ever touched any of those. No. Like Metro Exodus and Metro.
Oh, yeah.
So Embracer will be keeping those, I guess, in this deal. Which sucks because I'd like to see more of those made, but I don't think they're gonna do anything.
I was gonna say I didn't play them, but I heard nothing but like good things about.
They're solid game. If you never play them, if they ever go on sale, I'd recommend it. But so there's some life to this. I'm excited. I'm hoping, maybe we'll still get it. It seemed like the big reason they were purchasing this company was to make Knights of the Old Republic.
So, I don't want to hold my breath.
I don't either, but everything thus far,
I really want it to, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Because I'm just kind of looking. Yeah, because the Embracer was ready to sell the Knights of the Old Republic developer. So, I mean, they got rid of it, and there's a team that wants to do stuff with it. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'd love to see it. Obviously, if anything else comes out as I'm kind of going through, I'll make sure to throw that out there. But, and then the other half of not great Star Wars news. So the Battlefront Classic came out, and
everyone hated
it. I don't get it personally. I'm just kind of looking it up here because I'm meant to see what the.
I feel like it's one of those stories that like people didn't actually hate it, but like they're trying to run a narrative that people hated it, and I don't really understand why.
So as of today, the reviews are overwhelmingly negative. Which is not what it was, mostly negative
Overwhelmingly negative.
this weekend.
I am curious now. I have to.
So here's the thing. Here's some misconceptions that I keep seeing on the internet. Okay.
I love these.
Is one, they keep calling it a remaster. It's not a remaster. They said that from the
No.
get-go that it wasn't a remaster. It is a re-release. The biggest
Yeah,
things.
it's the exact same.
Yeah,
right?
it's the
Like, I'm
exact
not
same
crazy.
game. Yeah.
I watched you play it the other day, and I was like, it looks the same as it did in 2000.
I will say, from me playing it, I can tell the graphics look better. They have not
Sure.
overwhelmed the graphics, but they have enhanced it in some degree and made it look visually more pleasing.
Okay.
So yeah, when I played it, the only hitch I had is there was a audio glitch every so often where it would like do a blaster sound obnoxiously loud. And that has since to kind of seem to go away.
Sure.
I was able to get into an online game, 0 issue, 0 lag, played the whole game through, and I was with other people. I know they did say that the day it came out, there was only like 3 Battlefront 2 servers, I think, open, which inherently was not enough. But you also never know, how many people really are gonna give a shit about this. And that's an easy fix. I'm trying to think some of the other complaints I saw. Oh, they complained that it's a 50 gigabyte download, but nobody can figure out why as far as, anything they've done.
It does seem like a lot.
It does. But it depends on how much of an overhaul the graphics were to put them to what they were. I could see that taking up a lot of gig space. This has all the DLC from Battlefront 2. So I don't. Yeah, it seems like a lot. It also seems like a weird thing to complain about. Like that be one of your main topics of complaint.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it feels like we're splitting hairs to complain about.
But no, I mean, I've been able to load into games. Is the connection always amazing? No, it's a game from 2006. I didn't expect it to be perfect, but it is fulfilling my nostalgia for it. The issue is as overwhelmingly negative as this is, I don't believe all those reviews are legitimate. I think people got upset and they're just going to do it. And this is why companies hate gamers, because we do stupid shit like this where we hate bomb these games and reviews because something's slightly wrong with it.
Right.
And now people are upset because I guess I don't know if it's Asprey or Aspry or however you say the company name.
Aspire.
Is it Aspire? Okay,
I think so.
Couldn't tell. They
just looking at it, yeah, because I'm looking at the reviews now.
Yeah,
I'm just curious. A lot of it's nonsense.
They obviously tweeted out a response to everything that's going on, talking about some of the things they could fix, and they don't hit everything, but they hit a lot of what I thought was the important things as far as like the connection issues, the visual issues if you had any, and the audio issues, and that's fine. This is just, I think, a strong case of one, gamers don't listen.
No.
You're gonna bitch about it being something that they never promised you, and people just review bombing a game for the sake of review bombing, and that's a shame because I think it's gonna cause an issue of them ever doing something like this again.
So I have a question.
Yeah,
I'm curious because I keep seeing it. So is Battlefront still on Steam?
like the originals?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 originals are on there for like $2 or $3 a piece.
Classic 2005 Battlefront 2.
But the biggest part of that one is the onlines don't work really at all.
So you're paying not for the game, you're paying for online access.
Pretty much. For the game to be overhauled a bit visually, all the DLC that you couldn't get, because the DLC they added to Battlefront 2 you can't get on PC in the Steam versions.
I mean, I do kind of hate that a little bit.
Because they were only released on the Xbox, the original Xbox. I don't know why. It was just because I had the PS2 version, so I didn't even know about these DLCs till they said, "Hey, yeah, they bring back a bunch of the Battlefront 1 maps to Battlefront 2, and they add like Kit Fisto and Asajj Ventress as 2 of the heroes, and stuff of that nature." So I'm like, look, here's the thing. Is $35 too much for it? It is. I do think $30 is a little much. As a nostalgia guy, I don't care.
Yeah, I get that too.
And the thing
It
is, if you
just
bought it,
I understand a bad taste in people's mouth when you're like, "Hey, spend an extra $35 for a bit of reskinning,"
yeah,
and then the online feature we literally just took away like months ago, right? Am I crazy? It's only been a couple of months since the servers died out
I don't,
because
I don't remember offhand. I know I had loaded it up just to see if because I know Battlefront 1 servers absolutely didn't work anymore, and that's been for
right.
a while now. I know Battlefront 2 had some for a bit, but they were private servers and they
Gotcha.
didn't always work great if they worked at
Oh,
all, which I guess inherently we're kind of having that same issue. But
yeah.
like I was telling Porto, because I was kind of messing with it before we started, that they complained about only 3 servers being up, but I load in and there's 20 servers that have like 2 people in each of them, and then like one had 30 in it. So it's like, okay, you're gonna bitch that there's not enough servers, but then they correct the problem, and they corrected it very quickly. Like it was like 2 days in, and there was plenty. And then no one was gonna, I guess out of spite now they're not gonna play. I just hate that mentality. That just makes no sense to me. Uh, no, if you wanted to complain about the price, I get that, and I 100% understand where somebody would come from on that. I got it for 28 because they ran a pre-order sale that if you pre-ordered it before it came out, you got like 15% off or some shit.
Yeah, it's
Um,
already on sale
yeah, so I
for like
mean,
31.25. I just saw it.
it's one of those things. It's a preference for a nostalgia guy. I'm absolutely that's worth it to me just to be able to play online and do all the stuff I always wanted to do. I did see people were on Reddit were like, "Hey, you should just go Battlefront to the EA one because it's $4." I go, really? Because I remember you guys hating this one too. Like, let's calm down
Well,
there. But at
it's
your own
another
risk.
instance of people bitching for the sake of bitching, people hating something. Like, what did I say last week? Nobody hates video games more than people who play video
Yeah,
games, right? Like, same thing with wrestling, right? We said the same thing. Nobody hates wrestling more than people who watch wrestling, because there's always something to unnecessarily bitch about. Like, I know this isn't your guys' speed, but like, I'm on a lot of like Final Fantasy VII stuff because the game just came out a couple weeks ago, and people are bitching about it.
yeah,
I like stupid stuff. I know this was in the original, but did we have to? And it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we complaining about?
yeah.
Yeah, are some of the mini games kind of annoying sometimes? Sure, don't play them.
Yeah. I mean, that's free choice. You don't have to play any of this shit. Like, if it's that, get your refund and go do something else.
Just yeah.
Like,
But like the whole rest of the story is fine. Like, oh, the mini games. Okay, then don't play all of them.
just play the story.
Play the story. Do a couple of things that you enjoy doing, mini game wise or like side quest wise. That's fine. I didn't spend money for the. What'd you spend money for? What were you hoping for? What were you expecting to get? I don't.
Yeah, that's just it's one of those you can't please everybody, and in gaming you
No.
can't please anybody. So
Right. Well, that's the problem.
yeah,
Don't get me
um,
wrong. Again, some concerns are legitimate. Like I
yeah,
said, we were talking price point. If they lowered the price a little bit, I could understand. Like, hey, we give you all of this stuff that yeah, the original version is only $10 on Steam right now, but the servers aren't there. You kind of re-skinned it, added all the DLCs for X amount. Yeah, if it was like a little bit less, then to me it's a non-issue. I can
yeah.
understand $35 being like, ugh.
No,
But
yeah. I
to make
listen.
it seem like it's like you know like Holocaust level gaming issues, like I don't.
Been way worse things that have happened in gaming as far as
Right,
shit that's come out that's not been what it should have been. What
right,
expectations were low to begin with, and not the sense that like I thought it was going to be bad, but like yeah, you're re-releasing an older game, and it's probably not going to work the way that I think it is. But even if it works half the time, I'm going to be content as the kid in me that used to play this all the time, growing
sure.
up. And so that's fine. I think you're gonna see a lot of the player base is gonna be the millennial generation that played this game when it was on PS2 and Xbox. Yeah, I mean, so
I played that game in high school.
middle
I'm
school.
old.
And then speaking of, I don't even have a good transition for this one because it's so just out of left field. Apparently, we're making an Among Us TV show.
Let's go.
Not only that, Elijah Wood's in it.
Interesting.
Let's go.
So here's the cast, and what's funny about this is apparently now I know all the colors' jobs because so you got Randall Park as Red, captain of the Skeld. Randall Park obviously being from Marvel. Ashley Johnson as Purple, chief of security.
Okay.
Yvette Brown as Orange, HR. And Elijah Wood's got the best character. He's Green, the unpaid intern.
Okay.
So this is a CBS production. So if that says anything. And
Oh, it's animated. Okay.
yeah. I would fucking hope so. If it's them
I
and
was
just
scared when you
suits,
said it,
I'm
and then you
gonna
were talking about
lose
the
it.
cast, and I was like, "Oh, how are they gonna do this?" And then, yeah, I'm seeing here it's animated. Okay, this makes more sense. Also, this website is terrible. Anyway,
yeah, it's the one I found wasn't great either. But yeah, it's there's not a ton about it. It just seems like they kind of announced the cat, and it's one of those. Who knows if it'll actually get made? This could be just one of these things that they've casted for it just to see if it works, and it may not. But yeah, just kind of a random. Didn't think this one was gonna be the gaming movie or gaming show to come out. I guess Last of Us was really that successful that it paved the way for Among Us. What are you laughing about? Come on, you got something. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, we're here. I mean,
Nah. Nah, just
you can always tell
I don't
that
think I will.
that's like the third time you've done this today. I appreciate it.
what?
You're
hiding the
withholding
jokes.
something fantastic,
and it's gonna hurt you in the long run. Like it's not good for
No, it's
your,
not.
You know, they say you're not supposed to withhold that kind of stuff, right? Because it does more damage to you internally.
Nah.
You got to let it out. It's good for you. It's good for the soul.
I don't
Good
think I
for-
will.
Good for this soul.
My soul is dead.
That's fair.
I killed the man's dreams today.
Oh,
Waiting in line, a guy offered to pay for my autograph and his autograph
Cute.
if I just got what he wanted signed. And I just said no because I've been waiting in this line forever, and I just feel like that's a cheap way out to literally stand by the front of the line and go, "Hey, can I pay you to sign?"
Fuck
No.
you. Get in the line.
I felt. Oh no, the line had ended. They capped it off, and like he couldn't get in
Jesus.
line. Like,
Oh,
like,
okay. Now you're just a dick. Okay, yeah. That's
how? Okay.
if they
I
kept
don't
it
know.
off.
I've been. He could have got in line at any point. I've been in this
Eh.
line since 10. It was 10 when
How
I
did
got
it
in
hurt
that
you
line.
though? How would it have hurt you?
I just felt bad. I felt bad for everybody else behind me.
fuck them.
You would have got a free autograph.
I don't care.
Oh,
I would rather pay my
money buys me, in all fairness. So and then so the last story, and I'm not gonna spend super long on this because I honestly could go on an hour tangent about this shit. But if you're not new to the internet here, you've probably seen that there's supposedly gonna be a TikTok ban. Or well, they don't call it that, but that's what it is. Basically our government has decided that TikTok is a national security risk to us Americans because they can't control the sell of data that they're getting from us to China.
USA.
What I don't know what makes me more aggravated.
Thank God, man. Thank God they're taking care of the real problems in this country.
Not,
I'm so excited.
not the opioid addiction crisis, not the housing market, not unemployment at an all-time high, not the fucking wage of living, not shootings.
Nope.
TikTok. That was it. That was the one That
know
was
what?
the one the
Makes-
Republicans, Democrats
Well,
fucking put their Wonder
on.
Twin rings together, and
We know why, right? It's you
Did
could
the-
sum it up in one word:
Did the handshake and everything. Like,
China.
China.
Right? Like that's it. That's all it is. You just sum it up in
but
one word.
funny enough, like, it doesn't matter.
It
I
has
feel like
nothing
all
to
these
do.
no, all these people that are like complaining, like, oh, TikTok's gonna be banned. What do we do now? You realize there's gonna be another app in 24 hours, right?
Yeah,
Pretty
but
much.
at the same, so here's my counter to that. Okay, there are generally people, much like we're doing now, and in some attempt to do, that have made themselves content creators on this app and make a living off of that.
Yeah.
Now, say what you want about that kind of life. You may agree with it. You may not agree with it.
But that's why
they still
that's
put
why
that
a lot
effort.
of people start. Yeah, but that's why a lot of people start. If you're smart, you will migrate your audience to multiple avenues just in
Doesn't
case.
always work
'Cause a
that way
lot-
though.
Because a lot of TikTok people said, "Hey, we start putting YouTube shorts out, we start putting Instagram reels out, so just in case shit happens."
And I wouldn't say that a lot of these haven't. A lot of the ones that I watch do, but those follows don't necessarily always transfer over from one to the other.
So
Yeah,
I guess we're moving to
you will
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
always lose some in the
Patreon.
transition.
We'll do nude podcast.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, it's better to lose some than just completely put all
You're
your eggs
right.
in one
You're
basket.
you're right. I'm not. You were correct in that. It still
was
sucks for
definitely
these
a part.
people though. Your dog went
Now
out.
it's
Got
barking. He's got to go.
He's got a dog in this race. No pun intended.
Snoop Dogg's breaking into his house.
I like that he's talking to him in such a degree that we can't hear it. Unless I didn't see him mute his mic.
He muted.
Okay,
No, he
he did.
muted it. It's the fact that he can still hear us with
Just
the headphones off.
telekinetic, just talking to his dog through his thoughts. Shut the fuck up.
That's essentially what I said. I don't know what he was going on about, but he was going.
But yeah,
And then I heard my wife yelling in the background. It's like,
But it's just, and I hate this guise of it's national security because China's our biggest adversary. Then why do we whore out half our shit to China? What do you mean? Like, we can't take 90% of our shit from them and then go, oh, they're our biggest adversaries.
yeah.
well, it's just
so-
they're not making money off advertising like they want to. They're not in control
It
of
all
our
comes down to money.
data. Yeah, that's all it is. They're like, oh, well, China's selling your data, and I'm like, you mean like you guys?
Meta and T-Mobile and
Yeah.
AT&T did.
Well,
You
TikTok-
mean like how I have all these robocalls and spam emails and text messages because you guys have my information now,
And how like Facebook tells me about stuff that I just mentioned in conversation to somebody, or
Yeah. TikTok is the new weed. Because the government can't dip their hand in the money pit that is TikTok or weed back in the day. It had to go.
yeah, it's just, and
Yeah,
I try not to be
you didn't
political
follow
on
me.
this. Like that's
because even then the specifics of it are we will ban it unless you sell it
To
to
us.
an American.
Exactly. Unless we get our cut,
yeah,
nah, it can't
Right.
exist.
and
Just like dispensaries.
and that's the thing. Like I very much always try not to be political with this. I try not to be political with my other content creation, and I know you do as well. But like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, because I could go on, but I try to keep that shit contained because it's just not necessary. It is, but it's not.
So, with that being said, if you're watching this from whatever segment I decided to put up on TikTok, and there's quite a few that we've had just in the last 40 minutes, you should follow us on our other social medias, including on YouTube, because I'm whoring ourselves out here. We're the Better Cream of the Crop podcast, and these two know
Yeah.
the joke behind that.
Yeah, that's good.
I will start running the Twitter account.
There you go.
It can
Yeah.
only go.
There you go. Only go
it
up
can
from
only
there.
go up. Yeah.
So just so you know, if some
Don't
not,
tempt me, 'cause
if
I already
some
have
sh-
access to it, and
if
I will
some-
start fucking doing stuff.
if some
like,
shit pops off, it's one of these two. It's one of these two, not me.
I'm okay.
I just
take
just
full
do
responsibility.
I do
for it,
the
even when
Instagram
it's-
and TikTok. That's the two that I handle.
Yeah, I have been the one mostly posting on the Twitter which I haven't posted a ton, but don't get me. Don't,
Now, if you want to take over the Twitter, be my guest, my guy.
if you guys are gonna give me free reign, I don't.
I feel like you're less
do it.
controversial than me, so
You say that now.
have you not heard me?
Yeah, but
you
well,
not
I've
heard
heard
me?
both of you. So,
Yeah, I
as
was gonna say.
as someone that's been on both sides of both of you,
Okay, who would you rather have like run a
depends what we're
social
talking
media?
about. What
Nah,
depends
just
what you're
in
tweeting.
general. Okay,
It's,
who would you rather have like free reign?
neither of you.
I trust them.
Neither of you. I'd rather it
No,
be
you-
me because at
No,
least
no.
I have a conscience.
It has to be one of us.
You have to
Who
pick.
do
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you pick?
Delete it. It's just
Nah,
It's
I
not
got
an
it.
answer.
I gotta know
Yeah.
whose unhingedness is more contained.
yours because I know what to expect from you on any given topic. Ola sometimes will come off with something very out of nowhere that is not who he is. It's like a third entity
Okay,
that
that's
just
funny.
like migrates out of him to say some nonsense sometimes.
I want you to know before you, well, you already made the decision, but I want you to know this weekend I convinced a bunch of random people that my coworker does not like talking to black women. Like completely.
I mean, in
like,
all
they thought I
fairness,
was
you didn't
kidding.
need to convince me that much. I've heard some of the things your coworkers have said to you.
No, this is like this guy. We have not interacted. We just ran into each other.
Oh,
at the
no.
convention,
Maybe that's part of the reason. I mean,
and I don't know
Jesus.
what I did. I don't know what he did to me that deserved this warrant of just depravity.
This guy's
I
scarred
was
now
being the
because of you.
biggest dickhead. We're on an escalator going up, and there's like a black couple. There's like a black couple in front of us, and like these black girls behind us. And I just blurt out, "Yeah, I don't get why you don't like talking to black
You're
women."
an asshole.
Loud
Oh
as
my
possible.
god.
Get
Pretty
the-
great. It's pretty great.
What a dick.
I mean, if we're sharing dick-headed stories.
It was just like I'm gonna get someone to notice me. I had my head turned, so I can't look at anybody in the eyes. So I can keep a straight face.
Yeah, it's hard. You gotta
Oh,
keep it.
I just kept fucking with him to the point I'm pretty sure he was pissed.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Couldn't
Can't
imagine.
Oh no.
Crazy.
It gets a little bit worse because we met. Have any of y'all like seen Smosh?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Like the not the two guys, but the group.
Yeah, the current kind
Yeah.
of Smosh team.
One of them was there and he met him, right? It was this big moment. And then he came back to us and said, "Yeah, I felt a little weak in the knees." He said that to me of all people, and I just fucking ran with it. Yo, he had fucking butterflies in his stomach.
Jesus.
Even thinking about it made me laugh. We had to go to work tomorrow. It's gonna be fucking hell on earth for him.
Good lord.
He says the wrong thing.
That's fucked up.
Oh.
Look, I wouldn't. That's one of the things you like. Again, it's like Austin St. John's. Keep that locked inside. You don't say stuff out loud. Whew.
Duly noted.
No,
Be careful what I
Yeah.
share with Porto, because I'll absolutely get roasted.
I will fuck with you.
Keep that in the mental forward pack there, you know.
Well, you've never said anything that was too bad.
Not me, but there's been others.
You've definitely got messages from people.
Yeah.
I've definitely just
Yeah.
took the ball and ran with it.
God damn it, Porto. All right. So I'm gonna do something a little different this time. And I gave these guys a heads up, but not enough to know. I told you last week about it. Don't fucking dare. I mentioned it last week that I was gonna do this.
Oh,
I said if you weren't gonna be here, then I was gonna do it the next week.
and
you
here.
decided that you wanted to be here this week.
Yep.
So
How dare you?
Oh, I didn't know what we were doing tonight. I didn't know if you and I were just gonna go on an old person tangent, or
Yeah, I
if we
did.
just weren't
I
gonna
did
do
kinda.
shit, or like
At least I messaged saying,
you
"Hey,
did. I just
what time we
wasn't
recording?"
sure what the game
Yeah.
plan was.
Yeah, I was starting to get a little nervous with you guys because I had sent a couple of things in the group and then like nobody responded
dude,
for a while, and I was like,
I had a full
Oh, no,
day of
I
the zoo.
saw it.
I passed the fuck out when I got
And I was in a place that had no service, so I was like,
Oh,
my phone was
okay.
in my pocket the entire.
I was like, oh, I want to get this conversation going. And I'm like, fuck me, I
Look,
guess, man. Like, what a
that
piece of shit I am.
Just got set the time and then was the last one to show.
Oh, I still got here on time. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, I thought my
But-
computer got hacked last week. Okay, give me a break.
I was shocked because I checked my computer and I was like, oh, Onyx is already on there. What a shock. Usually you're the last one in, and we're like, oh, fuck, all right.
Hey, somebody's got to do all the notation here of all the shit we got to talk about.
that we don't.
That we
really
only
get
talk
to.
about a third.
Yeah,
of.
and then we wing it anyway.
Oh, you know. All right, I'm off topic. I wanted to play this game because I want to test you guys. Fuck you guys. All right, this isn't about me.
We talked about Achievement Hunter last week.
Shut up. So I have a fun little Mandela effect quiz for you guys. That I was able to pull some of the top WWE like Mandela. And if you don't know what a Mandela effect, God forbid, you're on the fucking internet. You should know what that is.
Google it.
It's basically, yeah, you know what? I'm not even explaining it.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Like, look it up. Do some research. I had to do this research,
Anyway,
so you do some research. So I have 13 because I couldn't find an even number.
Let's go.
So some of these are going to be true, false. Some of these I'm going to give you because it's kind of a vague one that you would need maybe a few multiple choice answers of who it could have been or stuff of that nature. Okay.
Okay.
And it's not a competition. I just want to see who thinks what. So
You're going down. No,
the first one, did Ultimate Warrior have a tattoo of himself on his arm?
No.
well, no.
He does. He has a tattoo of himself on his right arm.
Well, like an actual tattoo,
Yes.
or
Like a legitimate tattoo. So it's not shown in a lot of the photos because the photos usually hit him from the front sides of his arms.
So the light reflects, so
it's
you can't
on-
really see it.
Kind of his
Sort of.
tricep.
So, never
But
mind.
it's absolutely I think it's a tattoo of him pressing dumbbells. So bold move. But yeah, it's I and it makes you feel better. And I'll tell you what because some of these surprised me. I also didn't think he had a tattoo.
no.
But no, there's generally photos where it's him working out and you can see I mean, it's a hefty tattoo. So it's very impressive that WWE was able to kind of pick enough good pictures and video shots that never show that tattoo.
Okay.
True. Okay, number 2, true or false? Hulk Hogan was the first person to body slam Andre the Giant.
False.
Did you say false as well?
Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah. Andre the Giant had been slammed by Harley Race, El Kanak, Stan Hansen, and among others had done that as well.
WrestleMania, that wasn't the first time Hulk Hogan did it.
Yeah, well, but
yeah,
no,
that wasn't
but
even the first. Yeah.
A lot of people though
that's
what people think of as that was the first time Hulk ever body slammed.
It was rare, but it was still done before.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're one for 2.
Piece.
Number 3 is Hardcore Holly or true or false? Hardcore Holly is a recognized WWE Intercontinental Champion.
True.
I think it's false.
It's false. So Bob Holly, Bob Holly, Hardcore Holly, won the Intercontinental Championship, but he won it on a house show and then dropped it at the next house show. So they do not actually classify him as an Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I was the same way. I for some reason have it in my head that he was an Intercontinental Champion at one point, and it's during like Jeff Jarrett era.
But like not on TV.
Yeah, but it was just he beat Jeff Jarrett at a house show, and then lost it to Jarrett, who then at the next taping had it, which is very rare. They don't do that quite a bit. Okay. Number 4. Did let's see, how do I phrase this? All right, we'll do true or false. Do it that way. True or false? Shawn Michaels super kicked Marty Jannetty through the window at the barbershop.
No. He super kicked him, then threw him through
Correct.
the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would be surprised how many people think he super kicks him in through the window.
That would actually be just dumb. The
Yeah.
visual of that kick would, because he would have to fall backwards
Yeah.
through the glass.
So it makes sense that
Yeah.
he throws him through it. So good. Okay, yeah. You're doing better than most, because there was a lot of these that people fucked up on that I kind of knew. But, number 5. This is another true or false. This is around CM Punk during the summer of Punk. So during that era, Punk had that kind of deal with Vince McMahon of like things that he had to do for him to come back. And one of the things was to re-release the WWE ice cream from the 80s.
Correct.
Okay.
True or false, did WWE actually re-release that ice cream?
I don't think they did.
I want to say they actually did.
Or they
It was-
did. If they did, it was for a very limited time, but I don't think they actually did it.
It was not the actual ice cream bars that he was talking about, but they did make new ice cream bars. I want to say true.
So it's false, but you're close, Porto. So they do end up doing an ice cream that's similar, but it was ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
But they released it after Punk had already been gone.
Yeah.
So I also, by
remember-
the way,
I remember
loved
seeing
those
that.
ice cream bars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever had them
No.
before.
No.
I had them. So Mr. Softy in my neighborhood. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have that there. I don't know. I don't know who your ice cream truck guy is over there.
Yo, Mr. Softy is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy like take you to the back of the truck, or
It's a white van. Just a white van, actually.
free ice cream just written in Sharpie
Essentially.
on the van.
But no, the ice cream truck used to sell the WWF ice cream bars, and they were dope. Like they were pretty good. They had like almost like a.
Was it like a printing of like the superstar on it or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was really cool. Like you would have like the Undertaker on it, or you'd have like Razor Ramon on it, or you know what I mean, like somebody on it. And then
I'm surprised they don't do that. I feel like that would be something they could make money off of, as long as it was good.
It was good. Now, I mean, this is like 6-year-old me telling you that, so might not be good now, but
damn, I was wrong. I was right and wrong at the same time. I'm like, I remember something.
That was so because
then he had the shirt with the ice cream.
Yeah, so that's the common misconception.
I knew it wasn't like I knew it wasn't ice cream. I knew when he was there, they didn't release the ice cream thing, because that's why he did it in AEW.
Yeah,
right.
Because they legit had ice cream bars with CM Punk. Cool, but I knew it was something ice cream related. They did.
Yeah,
because I think it involved the New Day.
Might have been actually, yeah. Okay, number 6. So this is going to be kind of a. It's hard to do this one and not just give both answers, so we'll just do it that way. So the current pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, or that match in general, what was the original name for Hell in a Cell before it was Hell in a Cell? Was it always just Hell in a Cell or Hell in the Cell?
It was always Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
You saying Hell in the Cell or Hell in a Cell?
In a Cell.
Yeah.
Cell.
Apparently that was a big thing, is that everybody thinks the original when they called it Hell in the Cell, it's always been Hell in a Cell. They said what I looked up is there's one time Mick Foley references it as Hell in the Cell, but every iteration when they do the match, it's Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, it's just a misspeak at that point.
All right, this one's a bit of an older school one, and there's 2 answers that I'll give you. So when Kane had his debut, there's a famous quote that's said during that match when he's coming into the ring to get Undertaker, I guess, without is the quote is, "That's gotta be Kane." Okay. Who says that? Is it Jim Ross or Vince McMahon?
Oh,
Vince.
I want to say Vince too, because that's what my brain tells me is who said it. Yeah, I'm going with Vince.
Correct. It is Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I had this wrong. In my head, I always hear it as Jim Ross.
No.
No.
I hear that like, what a maneuver. I hear that voice. That's gotta be Kane.
Yeah, I hear that in Vince, because I don't feel JR would say something so random like that during a debut. He wouldn't have that information.
True, but yeah, it's the intensity with it. When I hear it, I just think of Jim Ross. Like, just screaming that for some reason.
This is the context of that conversation.
Fuck off.
If it's a if it's a debut, JR wouldn't know. It
Yeah.
would have to be a Vince thing to try to get somebody over.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, probably really way. So the next one, I didn't know this was a Mandela effect. I always just thought everybody knew this. So Mr. Perfect, his in-ring name along with Mr. Perfect, is it Kurt Hennig, Hennig,
That one.
or Kurt Hennig?
And there's no NG at it. It's NNIG. Sorry.
Spell those again.
Hennig or Henning.
ING.
Incorrect. It's Hennig.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I always assumed that was just something. When I was looking these up, I'm like, there was, and it's
He no sold it too. That's great.
Yeah.
there's a lot of these that just didn't think that,
name wise?
yeah, or like
Yeah.
him specifically, like nobody knew that was his how you spelled his name.
I was thinking of fucking Curtis Axel.
Yeah, and
I was trying
that's
to think how they pronounce it. I kept drawing a blank.
Joe Hennig.
but so
Huh.
you were in a majority of people that also thought that part.
Yeah.
If you feel better,
When I was I'll be honest though, when I was a kid, I always thought it was Henning
yeah,
It
with
just
the
sound-
NG. It
I think
sounds right.
ING
but,
just sounds right, so the brain just says this is how it's spelled.
right.
I don't even think it's like a.
all right. So this one, I just need an answer, whatever you think it is, because if I give you options, I think it makes it more obvious.
Okay.
When DX invaded WCW, what did they drive to the arena?
Jeep.
A Jeep tank.
No, people remember it as a tank, but it's actually just a Jeep with a cannon on it.
Yeah, that's why I said a Jeep
Yeah.
tank, because it's a Jeep, but it had the little cannon thing on it.
Yeah, that's right.
People just remember it as a tank, and it's like, no, it was never a tank. They can dress in fatigues and army camo all they want to. It was never a tank,
Yeah.
you fucking dumbass.
See, that's what I'm saying. I always remembered it, but that was another one that was very like everybody remembers it being a tank. I go, no, I always remembered it being the Jeep.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
pretty sure they couldn't get a fucking tank just
No.
one hand.
Well, you'd
That'd
be
be great, but
You think one of them could?
I
drive
mean,
a tank?
Shotzi can.
Okay. Rusev can.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you just able to pull that
Well,
one out.
he wasn't driving. He was on top
Still
of it.
though, I mean. All right, number 10.
Now other men are on top of his wife. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Look, there's a lot of pictures of her and Damian Priest together. It's
yeah,
weird.
I was gonna say.
Oh my god, guys. So this is a true or false? True or false? John Cena was never a heel in the WWE.
False.
Correct. Not many people remember Dr. Thugonomics was a heel.
Was a heel.
Yeah.
That just became a face by crowd choice.
Virtual or cool. Yeah.
He came up. He named it the FU because he was feuding with Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 11, true or false? The Brahma Bull belt was never used on TV.
True. They lost
Man,
it.
look at you guys. All right, we're getting into a rhythm here. True fans right here. All
I
right.
just remember that story.
Okay, so another true or false. Did Stone Cold Steve Austin debut his "That's the bottom line" quote in the same promo as his Austin 316 promo?
No.
No.
It's true. That is the first time he
Ooh,
uses
okay.
that is in that promo.
Thomas John Cena. Austin. Huh.
I didn't know that either.
In
I
my-
said false. I was like,
in-
I could have sworn he'd said that prior to.
Because in my mind, that promo stops at, well, Austin 316 says, "I just whooped your ass." I think it's
And
'Cause
then
everybody's on the list, and that's
yeah,
Austin's list. Like, I don't remember
you
him
pray to your
saying
God. You pray to
Mhm.
John 3:16.
this is
Talk about your
Austin
Psalms.
3
They're your
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Psalms,
talk
yeah.
about your Psalms.
And then the last one is also a DX one. So, and I'll give you 2 points for this if you can name who they are, but how many founding members are in DX?
4.
Okay. There's one answer.
I'll wait for him. I'll wait for him to. I don't want to spout him off right away.
Uh, you know what? Fuck it, 4.
Okay.
Can you name those 4?
Who are the 4?
Sean, Hunter, China. I want to say X-Pac.
No.
I'm definitely wrong with X-Pac. X-Pac is the only one that just pops in the head.
It's Rick Rude.
Yeah, it's Rick Rude.
Okay.
Which I don't know why I remember
Yeah,
that. It's
fuck.
something about I thought it was
Didn't
the
he just leave?
Montreal thing, but he was gone before that happened.
He left after Montreal, and he appeared on Raw and Nitro the same night because Raw
Yeah.
was taped, and then he left, went to WCW, and appeared. So he appeared with DX and NWO on the same night.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. This is what fucked me up. I confused the Rick Rude being a part of DX with the Evolution thing.
That
How there's
was
another how there was another member of
oh
Evolution.
Mark Jindrak?
Mark Jindrak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always hated that
And
guy.
that's where my mind goes with that. Like, oh yeah, the member of Evolution that no one talks about.
I thought about
Yeah.
doing that one, but that one's not really like a Mandela. Like that's just something they talk about later on that like Jindrak was originally going to be part instead of Batista, which I'm glad they chose the way they did.
Well, he shot himself in the foot with that too, like he was dicking around or something.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah.
Well, good job, guys. You did better than I thought you were going to. No offense.
Wow.
I
Fuck
mean,
me, I guess.
not in a bad way. Like it was stuff that most of the internet also didn't know. I definitely thought I was gonna get you guys with the Rick Rude one. I didn't think well, I got one of you,
Well,
I guess
less is
technically,
better.
but
Yeah.
because that was one that I barely remember and go, oh hey, yeah, that's right. I forgot Rick Rude technically is a DS
I was
member.
trying to think if, because he was the insurance policy
Yeah.
for Sean, and I was trying to remember if they had officially named the group at that point, but they didn't, because I remember them doing it in the locker room, like in the backstage area, calling themselves D Generation X, and then that's when it started, and he was there with.
Well, congrats, guys. I have to do some more of those. I have to figure out some fun little hoops for you to jump through. All right. I guess that leads us to it's the best transition I'm gonna have for our wrestling recap here. I guess we'll do AEW
cool.
first since that kind of had some news to it.
Well, just a little bit of news, nothing
yeah, it's nothing
special.
huge. Not like anybody debuted.
Just big business was in Boston, and one Mercedes Monet debuted, even though she kind of leaked it. Well, she spoke about it like a few hours before the show, so no
I
guarantee.
don't know.
A few notable things to point out. I think her theme is kind of bad.
Like bad as
It
in good or bad as in bad.
Just like a lot,
bad.
you know,
Okay.
like just
too
like
much.
this much.
It's we're having everyone made the instant connection. This is Walter's theme.
Oh, is it
Symphony
really?
Number 9. It really starts off
I
with
didn't get to
Symphony
catch
Number
the
9,
intro. Yeah.
and it's like everyone had that moment, but there's also the slight moment that I realized what this was. Remember when Imperium feuded with Breezango in NXT?
Jesus Christ.
vaguely, yeah.
They did a remix of Imperium's theme, and that's what that sounded like to me. And it threw me off once it clicked in my head.
Good.
I really don't. The rapping is not good,
It's Sasha rapping and
and
Mercedes.
that's
Sorry.
yeah.
She's I feel like they chose that beat because she's able to keep up with that kind of beat.
And like I know she sang the Sasha Banks song,
Yeah.
She was
but it
background vocal
was right, but it was more of a
Jada style.
singing,
Yeah,
like
talking.
melodic kind of thing, as opposed to like an actual like rapping type. And it's like, eh.
Also, I love the CEO chant. Like getting the crowd
Yeah,
amped
that
up
was
to the
fun.
CEO.
Yeah,
That's great. It works for her and it's perfect.
yeah,
The rapping, it gets drowned out by the beat. It's not mixed very well. They need to fix that. But
yeah.
also, it sucks because her WWE theme, good, solid. It's okay. This is the Snoop Dogg version, great. Got an actual rapper to rap on the song, cool.
Right.
Her best theme, and I stand on this, is her New Japan theme. Her New Japan theme is
Ah,
actually better.
well, it's better than this.
It's better than all of them. I don't
I don't
care.
know if it's better than the Sasha one. I go back and forth with it because I don't hate it.
I don't hate the theme. I just think it's an odd. I wish they would just kept the New Japan theme because they did it for Okada.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah,
Because I figured that was just her theme and she was gonna kind of take it with her, but she
Guess not.
didn't.
but
Um,
all in
It
all,
was a
her
good pop
debut
though.
was
I mean,
yeah. The Boston crowd fucking loved her.
yeah.
The CEO chants. I love that they started her music up again because her music ended. It was a good 5 seconds of them chanting CEO, and then someone back there said, "Hit her music again."
yeah.
I did
It's
like
the
that
same. It's the Sami Zayn moment.
what was it? Bailey, Naomi, and
Tamina.
Tamina
Tamina.
went
We're in,
undercover
yeah.
poorly.
Oh, because they did a TikTok of like them
Yeah.
picking out
Well, not
masks.
even that. At one point they do a pan up, or maybe it wasn't them, but I saw
It
where
was a
No,
it was a
it's a
fan.
picture.
you could
It
see
was a
It's a
them
fan.
with
picture
the
of them
without
and
the
the
masks
rapper.
on, and they're just up there
But they
cheering.
never. I don't think they ever wore the mask. They were literally
No.
probably escorted through the bag and just went up there.
Yeah, this was funny. How would they know?
Because funny enough, it's just Bailey. You don't see Naomi or
Yeah, I guess that's
Tamina,
true.
you see
Yeah.
Tamina.
Tamina next to her.
Do you?
Oh, I didn't. I
I say
really
I only
focused
saw
on
the
Bailey.
shot of Bailey where she was
Yeah,
cheering.
like a happy mother.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her. I don't know. I would have liked to seen her come back, but as long as
I
she's getting a pop somewhere, it's cool.
I
I
mean,
feel
she
like
did allude to the fact that she's probably gonna end up back in WWE at some
yeah.
point.
At
And
some
you
point.
know, I think did we discuss this last week and people were like
Yeah.
losing their shit on it? Yeah.
Like
Um,
again, if her contract ends in AEW and she decides to go back to WWE, by all means, great for her. She's doing what she wants.
Yeah.
right.
Like that's how a contract
I
works.
don't
If
know
a
why
contract
people are
ends,
like freaking out about it. Like
yeah, no one
let
has
her
to.
do what she's doing.
This is the
It's all
thing
the
that
neckbeards.
benefits everybody. No, because it's tribalism. Everybody wants
True.
everybody to pick a side, either
Also,
AEW or WWE. No, people can alternate between
right.
companies.
Now, I
It's
do have to say, because it irritated me, there's this misconception that she called AEW home when
no. She said she's
she was
home
referring,
in
she's
the
home because she was in Boston.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, and everybody's like, she's here for like 3 seconds and she's already calling AEW home. And I'm like,
No, she's home in
she
her hometown.
didn't do that. Yeah. Like, she said, I'm home in the sense of like, I'm in my hometown. Like, I don't know. People got weird about it. It's fucking
Her
dumb.
technically her home is wrestling, whatever
Right.
company it may be. Who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great pop. She ended up feuding. She is not going into a major title. Well, she's going to a title feud, maybe. The way they did it was weird. She comes out. They did it. She showed up at the beginning, got her huge pop, promoted the main event, which was Willow versus.
Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
Which
uh,
apparently didn't do well. I guess they didn't realize that she was gonna like make an appearance towards the end of the show again. Like they figured that that was it for her, and so I guess the ratings kind of
tuned out.
showed that, which is sad because then she
Yeah.
did kind of appear back into the thing.
And seemingly feuding with the TBS champion Julia Hart, which would be a solid match. It's a matchup that no one has seen. I guess because Tony was a WWE person, they don't want to feud WWE ex WWE versus ex WWE.
Yeah, but I
I feel
don't
like the
think that they
transition of
really.
that. I feel like the transition of that belt would become like how people view the AEW World Championship.
But
Just
didn't they do that with Tony and Saraya? Anyway, like, didn't they just feud and they're both
No, because well, if they're gonna if they're
well,
gonna
not
make
like just,
her a
but you know what I
belt,
mean, like a couple months ago, but
if it's gonna be a trading of the belt, I wouldn't have Tony to Mercedes
alright, so who would you put
versus Tony.
not as a placeholder, I don't wanna say it like that, but,
That's
like,
what it
I
is. I
guess
mean,
yeah,
Jamie Hater.
okay.
You do
Is she back yet? I don't remember.
no, she's not. There are a few
We have
people
an
still on the
ETA
show.
on her?
No,
No, fuck.
it should be around this time. It should be around Wembley. So this is what I think. Either Tony. That's the thing. If the Deanna Perrazzo feud is still going on,
I
maybe it could
mean,
get
this
sidetracked
long
to
from now to August, I
Wembley.
hope not.
No, no, no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that. I'm not making this last
Oh, oh,
minute.
oh,
I'm
okay.
saying Dynasty is the cutoff point, and when Tony wins a Dynasty, the person who faces her at that point is a returning Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter then wins at some big Dynamite or Collision. Who knows? Probably Dynamite, and then that's how you get the Mercedes Jamie match at Wembley because that would be the biggest promote. That would be your biggest women's promoted match. They've never faced each other,
yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that match would be good. You have and you
yeah.
do at that point you do heel Mercedes because there's no way Jamie
You
Hayter's a
bring her back and turn her heel. Yeah.
oh Jamie can be a heel, but there's
Yeah, but
no
not right
way
away.
no there's no way you can let Jamie Hayter be a heel in Wembley.
Right.
This is like it'll be like Rhea being a heel
Australia.
at yeah.
I mean, she
I mean,
technically was, but that's
kinda, but I guess.
you
Well,
know what?
no, but not
No,
in
we
that
had this
situation.
conversation because
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's in
she's
a
a
weird
tweener.
spot because she's really not.
she's a
Like,
heel, but it's almost well to clear
She's like The
like
Rock.
John Cena Thugonomics. Like it was a
Yeah.
heel, but is so likable now. It's not really a
well, and
heel anymore. Like
that's a big thing we didn't get. We'll get to eventually too with The Rock because obviously he's getting cheers and it's like,
But that's Memphis.
it's true. It
but it's
is.
also
It's a Memphis thing.
it's still The Rock.
I
Like
know. He's
it's
still a
been
celebrity and people worship celebrities like they're new deities. But
well, I mean, besides the fact that he's been in
He,
wrestling for almost 30 years,
and
that
and he's
has
played a
something to
deity.
do with it. Yeah,
yeah, people know him more now for movies and wrestling,
sure,
even
but I mean,
in the wrestling sphere.
within yeah,
But that's my wild prediction because they did promote Jamie Hayter for Wembley, so I assume she's gonna be back at least by then.
Yeah,
let's hope.
So either you have the TBS champion versus either Mercedes wins the TBS championship, which also could see, because then you will have what that title would have changed 4 times. It will be Jade Cargill to Chris Statlander to um, Julia Hart
Really
to
hard.
Mercedes.
Yeah,
It will be AW, then a former WWE person winning that belt at least 1 time.
yeah. No, I mean that
So
wouldn't
but
be
I
bad.
could also see spooky shenanigans happening, so it screws her out the belt. So yeah, she works her way back up the rankings, and that's how you get Jamie. And Jamie is champion. Mercedes, I don't. Hmm. Actually, I don't know who. How would you want to send the crowd home? I mean, they sent the crowd home happy last time with Saraya winning the belt at Wembley. I could see them actually change, like having a good match and just Jamie losing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because
Well, I
what?
mean, you figure is that going to be the main event
No,
though? Like, no,
I got
right? So
Will. I also, if in my perfect world, I also have Swerve versus Osprey as the main event.
for the title,
Yep.
yeah,
Who's
that makes
champion in that? I cannot. I got Swerve
Swerve.
becoming champion. Yeah, Swerve champion.
I think
becoming
With the
they're
Os
champion at All In
no,
or prior. Yeah, so
prior.
beating Joe
I
and then
I say like every time Swerve is going for the belt, it's always a triple threat. and then Swerve can constantly go, Joe has never beat me 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And then between that and Wembley, they finally get the 1-on-1 match, and that's where he finally becomes AEW World Champion.
Yeah, I can see
Then
Joe
Will
dropping
Ospreay
that
going,
prior.
"Hey,
Yeah.
I want to face the AEW World Champion at Wembley."
Would he come out still
I think
champ?
I think you would put
Or
the
do you
belt
let,
on Ospreay.
especially with it being at Wembley?
Yeah, that's only
So
if
then
they
we're
switch.
running into a problem where they have two quick title switches for
Yeah,
both of the main belts
Yeah.
for
I
what
know that
you're
it also does run into that problem.
because then I listen, I mean, obviously, we've said before, you don't want a Roman Reigns length run by any means, but
You also
But
don't want an Adam
not
Copeland
every
run.
title reign has to be this long ass thing. Because
Yeah.
let's
sure.
say
But
let's
if
let's
Joe
give
loses at Dynasty, right, which
yeah,
is mid-April,
yes. I mean
so
end of
that
April,
gives
right?
him is it mid or either mid
Mid
or
of
end of
April.
April.
So that gives him
So that gives him
three
almost
to 4
4
months
months of
championship.
well, yeah, because he won at World's
World's
End.
End.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that gives him almost like 4 months of a reign,
Yeah. So that's
which is
I'm
decent.
fine,
content with
right? Like
that. Yeah.
it's not terrible. I think anything less than that, 3 to 4 months, I think is that spot where it's like it's not
Okay, I
completely
can
rough, but if you have them only have it for like a month
I mean, 6
or
would be the
2 months.
ideal. Like if we were
yeah.
gonna have like a 6 month would be a decent reign for me at that point. But I could live with the 4 month reign and drop it.
Because I
Right.
don't think you can I don't want to see Tony Storm hold the belt until Wembley.
Yeah. I don't
So
either.
then that would mean she would have to drop it to Deanna to make it because last year they did the whole Hikaru Shida was champion going into Wembley,
Yeah.
and she was only champion for like 2 weeks
Right.
because she won it off Tony in like
Right,
a
but they didn't
surprise
want
roll up.
Saraya to they didn't want
Yeah,
Saraya and Tony to wrestle for the belt because they were still together at that point, right?
yep,
If I'm
they were
not
still part of the Outcast.
and then
I think the Timeless Tony gimmick was getting over to a point where they didn't want Tony to eat that pin,
right.
which was weird. I don't. I guess they didn't want her as champion going into that match because they wouldn't want to cheer Saraya.
Yep.
So it's whatever. I I still think by the end of the year, I want Swerve as champion,
Yeah.
as a as champion at some point.
Yeah, because I think as much backing as he's getting right now, they need to capitalize on it.
So that means one of them would have to. If it's Jamie and Mercedes and Swerve and Osprey, Osprey is the name that could probably take a pin at Wembley
I think it would be
and still
surprising.
bounce back. Yeah,
I think you would definitely catch the crowd off guard because I think they would
because
assume.
if they're both face at the time, I can see Osprey eating a pin.
And then going heel,
Not even
or
going
Swerve
heel,
going
just
heel.
being like, no, I can see them as it was a great match, show love,
Yeah.
and then leave. Maybe down the line he might turn heel, but
Honestly, I
I can
think
see Osprey.
that would be a great heel turn moment there.
I don't think you would do a heel turn at Wembley though, because you would get cheered.
Yeah, I guess.
If it
Yeah,
was Osprey turning heel,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I
And
think
Swerve
turn
just turned.
face.
face,
So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it would be
so
kind of silly to turn him back.
heel
which
in a
is,
few months.
but that's not
It's AEW, so
uncommon.
it's yeah,
And not even just
AEW
AEW.
can do
WWE does
that.
it too, or they,
Yeah.
Big Show.
They've been doing
yeah,
it
say Big Show
less.
goes back and forth
Yeah.
every.
So they've been doing it less, which is good. Things are starting to
Even out.
make more sense.
It was
In the
kind of like,
sense like there is some logic to some of what's been happening, which
yeah.
I do appreciate.
Also in AEW news, Kyle O'Reilly had his first match back in 2 years,
Yep.
which was awesome. In Canada, his home country,
Why does the name not sound familiar to me?
Kyle O'Reilly, part of the Undisputed Era.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we talked about that already. Yeah. Some
I
reason
just like.
I don't put the face to the name when I hear that name.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're a 2.0 guy. Cool Hands Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool guy Kyle.
Cool guy Kyle. Yeah.
Can
I
they
just like
drop those fucking names now, please?
that was never a thing for that was an NXT thing.
Cool guy.
I was confusing him with Cool Hands Luke.
Well, that's I
Yeah,
was talking
yeah,
about the
and
2.0 guys. I
yeah,
was yeah,
I
Cool
was
Hand
talking. No,
Ange and
yeah, no, I was talking about like how NXT 2.0 tried to make him Cool Guy Kyle because he was the last person of Undisputed Era still left.
right.
But
But yeah, can those 2.0 guys drop that fucking stupid?
it's okay. I deal with it. But I it was a weird thing to see the Undisputed Kingdom who are heels like come out with a baby face, like run in, hoist them up on their shoulders, and be happy for him. Like it's a great moment out of kayfabe, but in kayfabe, this looks weird.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, they're I don't know if they're like trying to tease tension of like, hey, I'm here, I'm happy, blah blah blah, but I'm walking away from you guys, and then they're like, oh, okay, but they're like probably pissed about it. I don't. I'm trying
I
to think
think
of
it's
like
more
how
like
they would combat that in that sense, like how
it's
they
more
would.
Cole and them being nice to tempt him more into joining,
Right,
And
and
then
then he finally just says no, and then they jump him, and that could
and
probably
then beat
lead
the
to a
yeah.
match between Bobby and Kyle for the international championship.
international. Don't you mean the
I can
intercontinental?
nope.
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental.
That's what I should change it
Atlantic,
to. I would fuck with that.
the Pacific title.
The
What the fuck?
intercontinental.
But yeah, no, I think that's the aim they're going. But let's see other things that happen in AEW. The
Yeah.
pit hole that is Chris Jericho. I stand by this.
What do you mean? You didn't like
I
the hook match with him and
You
Jericho
mean Jero
versus
Hook?
Jericho Hook? Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, can we stop adding Hook to teams and just adding Hook to the team name? Because it was Jungle Hook,
Jungle
it
Hook.
was Jero Hook, fucking RV Hook. I don't fucking know. But please let this
Hookhausen.
end.
Hookhausen. Yeah, I remember that.
Hookhausen was actually fun.
That's funny though. I like that one.
Hookhausen was actually funny because it's just like goofy bullshit.
Right, I'm just saying the
What
name
happened to
wise was
Don
I know.
like
Housen? Is he
He
he's
got
hurt.
hurt.
is he hurt?
No,
Okay.
he's not hurt anymore. He was wrestling GCW
Oh,
like
was he?
like last week.
Oh,
He was
I
hurt.
thought he was
Then
out
he
for a
was
while. Like he's
yeah,
been
he
out.
was. And then he was supposed to come back during Halloween. That's when they started doing vignettes, but then they dropped it for some weird reason. This is like a Tony Khan thing.
Yeah.
And then they just didn't do it, so he's been wrestling at indie shows.
Hmm.
He's still signed, perfectly getting paid, just wasn't booked on TV.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah. But Jericho latching himself onto any random person that has a little bit of a pop is starting to get annoying.
Yeah.
Like it is gone beyond the point of, hey, it's cool to see you. Now fuck that, leave, please.
Right.
I want
You
like I
is
watched that
Fonzie on
tag match
tour
and
or
was just
something?
like, who wanted this?
Like, why are you here?
Jericho.
Yeah,
That's it.
Jericho.
Yes.
He's the only one.
Like,
And it's
why are you
Like
still
you
here?
could actually put Hook in a good match with somebody.
uh
Instead, you did
oh
this.
Like Jericho,
other
take a break.
other AEW news. Darby's broke his
But
foot.
Yeah, he's gonna be out
yeah,
for a while. No Everest.
Like
yeah, he
right
said
before his Everest.
he said for next year.
Now,
He's gonna
can we stop talking about like everybody who ever like fucking tries to climb Mount Everest dies? Like everybody's like writing him off like he's gonna die.
die. Like, what the fuck?
And like he also made it seem more dramatic. Like, don't get me
Okay,
wrong, there's always a chance,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm
no,
not saying there's no,
I
but
get Darby doing it, but everybody else, because I feel like Darby, when in that moment, was weighing his own mortality. Where I've done crazy shit in my life, this might be the one that takes me, because he's
right,
actually weighing his options. Cool, that's him as an individual. Because I can
sure.
see putting yourself in a dangerous position and maybe going, I
Hey,
might not make it.
I might
So
not come back from this, you know.
But it's
yeah,
also like a less than 5% probability that like
it's still a
people.
chance. It's still
No,
a
no, and
chance.
that's what I'm saying. But like everybody's, but that's
But
why
everybody
it's
else
weird that
on
like everybody's like, oh my god,
yeah,
he's
it's a
gonna die,
guaranteed
and
thing.
it's like,
Like, oh fuck no.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
They weren't that worried about the
Like
panes of glass, but
like fucking Christ. It's like cool. The chance of him dying is really low if he has a guide. It's not like he's going there by himself
Yeah.
in the middle of the fucking night,
Get one
in the
of
middle
them
of winter.
what
Like
do they call it?
Sherpas.
Sherpas? Yeah.
But yeah, nah, it's just weird. It kind of does suck for him that he broke his foot.
Yeah.
So is there a moment that you see how he breaks his foot? Is
No.
that why they did the whole bit with them, like Jay White and them?
No, the pilmanizing of his foot thing had nothing to do with him actually breaking his foot.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
I mean,
think that was
I
just
assumed
really a
that, but
way
I
to
didn't know if
write.
that's how they were writing him off. Is that
No, I think the pilmanizing thing was just a way to write him off TV. It just happened to he actually broke his foot at some point during this match.
gotcha?
Because it's like how CM Punk broke his foot. Like you can he wrestled a whole match,
Yeah,
Yep.
a whole trios match.
sucks, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you can't really tell when you break your foot.
Well, yeah,
I
your
guess he didn't.
adrenaline's going and shit.
But that did lead into one of the happier parts of AEW. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang is no more.
No,
Thank the wrestling
I'm not
gods.
even. So here's my thing: is I don't understand why we rejoined this group just to break them up again 2 months later, or not maybe not 2 months, but like it was such a quick turnaround that they were friends. They turned on them. Well, they got back together. Now they're the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, and then now
So even
we
their
turned
group,
on them again.
even their group like forming doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Because the whole point of them making this super team was to combat the Undisputed Kingdom. You know who they never feuded with in
yeah,
all that time? The
That-
Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah.
The guys y'all purposely said was the reason y'all got together.
yeah.
So I still say this was just a way to unify the titles. So we can finally get rid of all. You don't need 2 sets of trios titles.
No.
It's redundant. It's funny because both of them are named different things. You have the trios titles, and then you have the 6-man titles.
True, yeah.
Fucking annoying.
That's one that I'm surprised WWE didn't try to do as well as do a trios.
Because Vince hated tag teams. You think he could
I
manage a
guess that's
fucking
true.
trios
Yeah,
division?
that's true. He did despise tag
Fuck
teams.
it. The women can't even get a tag team division going. Trios division is no.
That's not true. They kind of got one now.
No, they
Kinda.
don't. No, they don't. Oh, well, we can switch to the WWE real quick. The women's titles might still be cursed.
Oh, really?
If you watch the ending of SmackDown,
Yeah.
Asuka might have fucked up her knee.
Oh shit.
She's not even like walking. She's limping throughout that entire final exchange with Naomi.
Yeah.
Like, there's a spot where they're all supposed to like kick Naomi in the face. If you look, Asuka's like limping. Like she like has to limp over.
Have they? I mean, has she come out and said anything yet about being?
It hasn't been confirmed that she's injured, but it's like it looked very bad. Like any weight she put on it.
Well, I hope not. I certainly hope that's
buckle.
not the case because I actually really like Asuka. But yeah, them damn belts, man. It's
fucking cursed.
Everybody getting hurt with them damn belts.
Like how many people have been hurt while holding those damn tag titles? Let's see. Piper Niven, she was out for a little bit. I want to say, who was Chelsea Green tag with originally? Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
She got injured holding that belt. Fucking. It's ever since Sasha and Naomi dropped those titles.
Yeah.
This little lingering curse around that.
One by Damage Control.
I feel like it's not that bad, but it's just like it seems way too often to happen for a belt that hasn't been around for long.
Right.
It's like when people said the Universal title was cursed.
Yeah, Sonya. Yeah, you're right. Sonya Deville. I mean, Raquel got injured.
Yep.
Piper. God damn. I didn't realize it was that many people had been injured holding these belts. these belts made Ronda Rousey quit.
Exactly.
God dang, that's quite a history. But yeah, no, I definitely hope that's not the case, because that would suck for storyline purposes too, and suck for her, because that's, I mean, you never want to see these people get injured. But I would hope that if it was genuinely an injury, I think we would have seen something. But whoa, I thought I got drunk.
There I am.
There. Speaking of wild shit women did this week, fucking Candice LeRae just shitting all over Maxine's dead brother. Fucking just
fucking full stop. Don't know why this had to happen.
it is, and I said this, it's so fucking random. Like the Christian Cage thing. Because I know that's the joke we keep doing, is we keep comparing, like, if you don't like this, you can't like Christian Cage. Like, at least that one inherently made sense for his character of like just being over the top bad guy. This was just really like, Candace hasn't really been a heel at this point yet. I mean, I know she had been in NXT, but like,
well, I guess they're starting to like allude to it.
I know, but what a wild fucking way to start that heel turn. Fuck your dead brother. Like, Jesus Christ, girl.
They're bringing up the real life thing just randomly. Like I get they're trying to capitalize off the whole booing situation.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this was the wrong way to go about it.
Wasn't necessary. I feel like you could have done it without putting that in there. Like,
this will go down as like one of those things. Like, why? It's like when
Vince wore a do-rag.
Oh, I was thinking more like Paige mentioning Charlotte's dead brother.
Yeah,
oh,
like
true.
Kind of a. It was used as like a throwaway, like, ooh, but like you really didn't need to.
A cheap heat moment that wasn't necessary. Yeah, it was wild choice. I haven't really looked much into like what the backlash was about it, the general consensus.
I think the general consensus was that it was just like unnecessary.
I don't disagree. And then Cody's promo this week was very odd. Like, I don't think I needed and I get it, it's a sentimental thing, and I don't really want to see him crying on television
every week.
Like,
it has gotten to that point where fans are gonna start turning soon.
It's not even that. Like, I've been content with it. It's just that promo seemed out of place. And now, it obviously might have been on purpose so that Rock could do his promo of, him crying and shit, and that's fine if that was the game
back
plan.
To him going,
no,
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No. If that was on purpose due to the Rock's promo, that makes it worse. Because that would make it seem like the Rock is purposely ruining other people. Like, because that seems more malicious.
Yeah.
You're making your top baby face of a company look like a bitch just to boost the Rock's ego for a promo.
But it's not out of the realm of what I think they would do. I mean,
they're not doing that because
Wayne's way to do. Yeah, no, but I don't
Cody's,
think that was actually.
I mean, it's not like it's the first time Cody's cried during a promo. It's not the first time he's cried during. It's not even the first time this year he's cried. Like, and again, I'm not, but we're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania, and I understand like emotions and things are running high and all that stuff, but
but this goes back to Dolph and Nick Nemeth and his interview talking about Cody's story, and it's like his whole story is just, well, my father didn't win the belt, so I will win it in his place, because it's like, cool, but that's every wrestler who didn't get a fair chance at the championship.
Yeah,
their family didn't claim that they're like, cool. Like, oh, I want to bring the belt because I can't present it to my father because he's dead, so I'll present it to my mother. Okay, neat.
Could just win it just win it as a recognition for the Rhodes name.
But
You
it's like
know,
now now if this is like how AEW fans saw Cody.
yeah,
Like now you're just dragging Dusty's name into everything. It's like
Right.
I get this. I get the whole point was Dusty never won the WWE title,
Right.
but
Like he
at some
did, but
point,
then it wasn't
yeah,
recognized, and
at
yeah.
some
So
point you have to be doing it for yourself.
yeah.
Like I just
maybe
say
that's how we get heel Cody. He just
I
turns
just
around and
want
goes, "I did this for me. Fuck you guys."
to
I
give
did
me
this for The Rock
TNA Cody,
Right.
give me Bullet Club Cody. It'd be
and
fun.
Brandy.
Yeah, here's
Let his
$20. Here's $40.
let
It
his
was
hair get
20
dark
more.
again.
It was 20 more than they were gonna give you. Still the best thing Cody's ever done.
Oh my god.
Where's your hot ass wife?
But
That's also top Cody.
Yeah.
and then I did see a video this week of it was Nia Jax doing the I guess doing an elbow to Rhea through the table, and she's like sitting in one of like the office chairs, and she goes to do this jump, and like all the leverage from the chair goes out from under her, and she just kind of goes just like a little and then the table crashes, and she gets up, and it almost looks like Rhea's laughing, but like it's hard to tell if she's like trying to sell or if she's actually like laughing. It's like, God love her, she's
She's
trying.
doing both. She's
Like,
doing both.
I don't. Are they just gonna set this up for a triple threat match? Is that what's gonna happen?
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm tired of people saying everything should be a triple threat match.
I'm not saying it should be, but that is
No, I'm not saying it should be either. I'm just saying it has gotten to a trend where a lot of matches people are saying it should be a triple threat.
yeah.
Like, because at first, oh, Liv is gonna be added to the main event. It's gonna be a triple threat.
Shit could be a fatal 4-way at this point.
Then with Sammy and Gable, oh, Gable's gonna get added. It's gonna be a triple threat.
That I'd be fine with.
It's okay, but I feel like everyone's solution is
Put
triple threat.
That way you get both
Right.
people in. Yeah. No, I agree. I have also seen that quite a bit just in AEW and WWE booking where it's like, I'll just make it a triple threat match. No, that's not, we don't always need that. Although the Gable one I could see, and I think that wouldn't detriment the match that much.
I feel bad for Sammy.
I don't.
I feel bad that because the report was that he felt that Booker T. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's something else I want to bring up about Booker T.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
I don't know this one, so this will be a surprise for me.
okay. So we'll get to that bit of information in a second. Booker T reported that Sammy was really down on himself following the reaction of the gauntlet match.
Yeah.
Of him winning.
I thought he got a decent pop from that, didn't he?
Yes, but the internet
Wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, everybody was on with Gable, and I guess Sami Zayn has always been pitched as the underdog.
Yeah,
but let's not forget he's been moved away from that underdog thing since he's been out of the bloodline. He's been an Intercontinental Champion multiple times. He faced Roman for the Universal Championship at least once. He's had those moments to shine.
Mainline WrestleMania and won titles.
Exactly. Yeah. Gable hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
So the internet kind of rallied behind the actual underdog in this story. It's not it's not Sammy's fault that they told a story that Sammy's story is I want to make history and I want to win at WrestleMania by dethroning Gunther. That's cool. That's all
Gable's has passion behind it.
Gable's is you made my child cry in front of me. Forget the title. I want to beat you because of that.
It's not even about the title anymore. It's just about beating you.
It's personal.
Yeah, and I kind of hint. We kind of talked about this last week too, where I love Sami Zayn. I enjoy Sammy. I don't think he needed a WrestleMania this year. I think I'd have been fine with him kind of because I don't think they have a good thing to do with him right now.
Yeah, it just feels like,
and that's okay. Like you're not gonna be at every WrestleMania. That's fine, you know. I think like you said, they were building this Gable story just to not do anything with it, and they might still. There's still time between now and WrestleMania, but to not have to not have him win this 6-pack gauntlet whatever
It's a
bullshit
gauntlet match. What I don't care what name they call it.
was just I I don't know. I feel like you said it doesn't do much for Sammy, but would have done everything in the world for Gable.
Yeah.
Sam, like you said, Sammy's at a point that he can kind of fend for himself, or Gable kind of needs a push if they're gonna make him a
He can
singles.
Yeah. He can Sammy can coast with a couple wins. Maybe win the Andre Battle Royal. Who cares?
Yeah,
But I didn't need look taking a step back and looking at the card, it feels like the bloodline story has taken over this WrestleMania.
yeah, no
Because what do we have in what is Jimmy versus Jay actually about?
bloodline.
Like
Yeah,
they're
I mean
just two
it's
brothers.
yeah,
No title, no nothing.
just yeah. I mean that's
Just a
true.
match.
Yeah,
Like now you're just adding cards to the WrestleMania match and
just to
saying
have
it's a
something
big
there.
thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because that's kind of how I feel
So
about the LA Knight AJ thing, because that just seems out of
another
nowhere.
match
No
just
title,
added
just there.
because you do have Logan versus it
Orton
wasn't how
versus
it's
Owens.
I
yeah,
mean, to be fair, they need other matches that aren't just title matches.
True,
yeah.
you're right.
But I just feel like
Some of
if
them just to me don't seem like the
You have AJ
storytelling.
Styles on your WrestleMania card, and LA
Yeah,
Knight, who's one of your most over people, has to be on the WrestleMania card. Like I get, it's a proper feud that doesn't involve a title, because that's been a big knock on, prior WWEs. Like, if it's not about a title, nothing exists, kind
yeah,
of thing. So it's nice to kind of see things actually be just a story of two guys not getting along, kind of thing.
but it
Uh,
feels more like it was about a title. AJ and
it
LA
started
were
that
about
way,
a
but
title.
they're not wrestling for the title. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, it's not a one guy's gonna take the title from the other guy. So, like, that's the only story that's really, it was Roman or bust. Like, there was no real other stories being told other than Roman's story. Now
yeah.
we have other things kind of going, and yeah, it stemmed from a title match, but you know, it's it's moved away from it so that it's not a constant, like, oh well, these guys are gonna go at it for the title. Like, it's you still need those feuds.
Okay.
I just wish they were
Well,
doing better. I'm not thrilled with the storytelling of it right now. Is my biggest issue
For
let's move
for
Styles and
AJ and
Knight.
Knight. Like I like
Yeah.
the start of it where it was like, okay, it's this. I guess 2 weeks of no interaction between the two of them, and then finally, like, you have last week where obviously AJ blindsides him with the chair again. Although I will say, him beating the shit out of the TV with the chair was pretty comical, and taking practice swings. But yeah, I'm fine with the match itself. I just want it's not as good storytelling as I'm used to, like what I would assume in AJ and not like just them separately as wrestlers of what it could be between Knight and AJ.
yeah. If it's not a chairs match, I'm gonna be upset.
That too, yeah. At that point, yeah, just the chairs in
At
the
this
ring
point, it
everywhere.
has to be it has to be a chairs match. But on to dumbass news. Booker T was talking about he has his own podcast. I think it's the Reality of Wrestling podcast, or is it
I
the
said, I know he has one, but I can't remember what the name of it is.
I think Reality Wrestling is like his actual wrestling school.
Yes.
So
Ooh, a Booker T Wrestling School.
Is it the Hall of Fame podcast? Because he's a
I'm
Hall of
pretty
Fame.
sure.
Yeah.
Nope, Reality of Wrestling
Wow.
under that name of the channel. But he made a it is the Hall of Fame podcast, but it's on
Yeah.
Reality of
Okay.
Wrestling TV,
Hall of Fame
the
was
channel.
and right. Yeah.
So apparently, he wants to be a private person about a certain. He wants to be a private person about a certain situation, but post about it like as a clip, saying he almost got into it with CM Punk at an NXT show. Feels like that's a contradiction. If you don't really want to talk about it, why did you bring it up on a podcast, then single out that clip
Yeah.
and then post it
Right.
exclusively with the title Booker T almost gets into it with CM Punk at an NXT show. Now it feels like you're farming for views, or
Yeah.
you're being the
Well,
biggest. You're
that's
being exaggeratory.
Clickbait.
yes.
Yeah,
That's I mean that's most internet things in a
but it's like
nutshell.
cool. You're being weird.
Who
Either y'all
cares?
fought, because it just lends to the fact that either people are gonna be mad that CM Punk is still causing problems in another company, or everyone's mad at Booker T for bringing up something that no one's ever gonna talk about
Yeah.
fully.
And
And
even
I'm
then,
more
I
in the
wonder how
camp of,
much of this is people starting problems so they can go point the finger and go, oh, yeah, he's the issue. And it's like, well, no, it might be you.
apparently no one knew he was there. Like a lot of people at NXT didn't know he was there until the photo came back of him in the back of the crowd, like in the cut.
Yeah.
So it's like he's just there because I'm pretty. There's been a long running rumor that he's trying to get into NXT. Like he's trying to replace Shawn Michaels,
Yeah.
which I can see, but it's
That would be
weird
an interesting dynamic.
of CM Punk running a.
Yeah. I'm
I
not
mean, he
against
ran
that, but it would
Collision.
be. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking like in a Sean role in NXT, I feel like is a bit
Like fully
different.
scouting talent and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against that though. I just think it
Yeah.
would definitely cause issues. I mean,
If he keeps getting hurt like this, I want that to happen sooner rather than later.
yeah. Yeah, I
So-
mean, I would like to see him at least get one WrestleMania main event under his belt before he goes into the wind of WWE creative / talent relation. Because I just don't think
Yeah.
Sean's gonna be doing this much longer. I mean, he's getting up there. Shit, how old is
I'm
Sean
pretty sure
now?
he wants to retire.
Yeah, I'll say all that drug use probably does a lot of damage.
He cleaned up.
No, I'm sorry. The way I phrased that, I'm
I
just
should say
saying
he's been clean.
he
for like
has
20
been, but I mean, long-term issues, from past drug use, I'm sure has played some issues in his elderly age.
His hair.
I mean,
I did like somebody, the
He's
2K.
58.
How old is he?
58.
That's not as old as I thought he was. Thought he was older than that. I did see somebody in the WWE 2K24. They went through. If you go through all of Shawn Michaels' character pictures from like earliest to latest, it's just him progressively getting worse or like in a worse mood.
yeah.
Huh. That's an interesting fact.
Go ahead,
While
share with the
looking this up,
class.
a interview again, Nick Nemeth popping up again.
Dropping all the
Apparently,
interviews.
he pitched an idea with his Money in the Bank briefcase to cash in on a chance to wrestle Shawn Michaels.
Huh.
This is because this is post Shawn retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently he was like they didn't want him to be champion. So he
Damn.
pitched the idea, what if I just cash in on the opportunity to face Shawn Michaels? And they just turned it down because he was 3 years into his new retirement.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
That's when he was doing that like hiking or fishing show or whatever he was
Yeah.
doing, and yeah.
I'm pretty sure that match would have actually been pretty good because it would have been not so far along that Shawn still would not have ring rust for real.
Yeah.
And Dolph is just an excellent seller.
Because yeah.
It's a weird.
I'd like
Just
that.
thinking about like using the Money in the Bank contract to cash in on a match on a non-champion. That could have been.
I just want to wrestle that guy.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck
like,
about any of
that's
the
worth
titles. That dude. That's the one I want. Oh,
I could have been a world champion, but I want to face the best world champion in Shawn Michaels.
But instead, they brought Shawn out of retirement for
Saudi blood.
Saudi
DX,
Arabia.
yeah.
It's the only good thing to come from that entire thing is the
Shane McMahon being the best wrestler in the world.
No, is the fucking Brothers of Destruction blooper where it's like we got
doing the crotch chop and
we got like 2 words where he fuck you. And it just shows there's something about that gets me every time I see it because it's just so out of character.
No, They gave us two awesome things.
It was it's
The
like,
greatest Royal Rumble.
oh my lord.
Titus O'Neil
Still champ.
almost fucking
Oh
slamming his
yeah,
head
that's
into
it. Going into Netherlands.
Had that been the LED screen that they normally use on that apron,
Ooh,
done.
he would have been in a lot of fucking pain.
No, even that.
fucking
Because
cussed.
remember, they were metal bars. He barely missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have domed himself in the worst way.
I did like how they played into that though and like showed what his perspective was. It was like Hornswoggle was under there. And it's just like, what are you doing here? Oh gosh.
Uh,
NXT was I do like that, we just got Tony D'Angelo committing felonies on live TV.
another felony.
Another felony, yeah.
Good for him. Yeah.
Because
Just
he committed murder.
Allegedly.
allegedly, yeah.
Yeah.
On TV.
Then the guy just showed up on AEW like Jesus.
Yeah.
I do like Tony D'Angelo though.
And on the third day, he went to AEW. Yeah, it's a good time.
Jesus. I do like the ending to the Sean Spears Ridge Holland match, where like Sean Spears like 100% DQs himself, but they just don't care because he does his finisher onto the chair,
Hey,
Uh,
wrestlers.
and I'm just like, wait,
discretion.
Ref's discretion.
because
Yeah,
and then I forget who it was says it, but goes, oh that unintentional finisher he did onto the chair that the ref threw over there. Like, okay, come on now, like that's not how that works.
Yes, it does.
Apparently.
Whoops, my bad.
And
That's-
then
what
Speaking of
happened.
speaking of disqualification, fucking Gigi Dolan.
oh god, yes, I forgot about that. Again, disqualified for a woman's low blow.
Never seen it before.
It's
It was funny because I mean, obviously the kick looked like it would have hurt more, and I did see her tweet. She goes, "And yes, it does hurt," and like, which is really funny. And then
It's just the stiffest arm low blow. Like, what are you hitting, fam?
ovaries.
Well, according to her on Twitter, roast beef.
Nothing but clam.
The clam slam. Oh, shucking clams right there. That's what.
Shucking clam.
Oh, God.
Yo, right in the fun bags.
Needs to add that to her WWE 2K24 signature moves. The
right
clam,
in the front butt.
The clam shuck.
The clam shuck.
What a that's crazy. Two for just random not like referee choices. Oh my god. And then yeah, Trick Williams come back and do his whole promo and then forcibly make out with one of the rest. I forget.
Lash Legend.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was Lash something. I couldn't think what the last.
It should have been me. Look, she is a tall, beautiful black queen.
Just committing all kinds of felonies on NXT this week,
Sexual
assault, murder.
Oh, whoa.
No kidnapping.
She consented.
Did she though?
She kissed back.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was all about it.
She kissed that trick.
Yeah.
It's that trick.
I don't know how that. Oh.
Also, the whoop that trick chant.
Oh my gosh. I saw that. How people were bitching because WWE tweeted the Trick Williams effect to Memphis using the whoop that trick chant for Rocky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the first thing I thought of was that's not the first person in recent history to get the whoop that trick chant in Memphis. No one remembers Charlotte getting that same chant with Sonya Deville?
Yeah.
It was a very loud, distinctive chant.
Right.
No one knows Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow.
But I mean, it
wasn't
also
Rock talking about beating Cody's mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was an interesting promo that I would put it this. So I'll start with this. I do love his entrance. There as
I
Black
do like that he
Adam
went back
as
to
it
that
is.
03 Hollywood rock music. That was a fun. choice.
You know, I do like the lightning, like him appearing, the way it looks at him appearing out of the lightning, even though it's a little on the nose for Black Adam. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was cool.
Trash movie.
Whatever, that's fine. But this was still cool.
He
Yeah.
just needs to go Shazam, and then
Shazam. I don't think he can.
No.
Per legally, he's not allowed to say the word Shazam ever again.
I'm pretty sure someone on AEW can. No, because they work with Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, because they've been sponsored by Shazam, Fury of Gods, in Winnipeg.
What a shame.
In Winnipeg.
Good lord. But it was a fun. I like the promo. I mean, it was very. It's hard because you want him to be healed, but then, like you said, you have him in Memphis where they're 100% going to cheer for him.
Yeah,
You know.
because people who don't know, he started his wrestling career
Yeah.
in Memphis. So no matter what,
Flex
Memphis
was
will
it Flex
always cheer.
or Flex Cavana?
Flex Cavana, yeah.
I knew he started, but I didn't know that was what his in-ring name was. That's pretty funny.
Flex Cavana.
Yeah.
Which is funny because if you watch the show he did, the Young Rock show, he never alludes to that he starts his wrestling career in Memphis. The way he phrases it is that once he gets cut from the Canada football team, he goes back home and has his dad train him, and then I guess does I don't know how it used to work back then, you know, but pretty much Pat Patterson comes and watches him train, and then Vince pulls him for a match. Never alludes that he ever wrestled in Memphis as anything else, you know.
We don't like to talk about that part of history.
I guess not. I wonder what all that was about.
Trash.
Yeah, probably. And then now we have, so how many, we've done 2 teams now have been announced for the 6-part team tag team ladder match.
Yes.
Catch Republic and don't say it.
Legado
Hold on. I want to learn how to say it. It's Legado del Fantasma.
Yes.
Okay. I always feel like I butcher that every time I say it. Both were good matches. I really did enjoy seeing. I mean, it was nice to see one LWO win a match this week because I feel like I haven't seen that in a while. But it does suck they immediately just lose that to them. And then so what else did they set up for Mania? It was Rey and Santo Escobar.
Yep.
And then what? I feel like there was something else they announced. Match. I know
They
that
confirmed the Jimmy and Jay.
Which, I mean, I think we all kind of knew that was where that was going.
No yeet.
No yeet. Like, Jimmy's, I can't do it. Oh, and then like we said earlier, Logan versus Owens versus Orton. I meant to ask because Olash, you mentioned something about a Austin Theory's botch or something.
Oh, I know
bump?
exactly. I saw it. So
He took the stunner, but then he
jumped
he was
jumped
supposed
in
to
the air and then
so he was supposed to take the stunner and then sell it
jump
into
the RKO.
RKO, but he took the stunner, then took a second and kind of bounced. Like it looked really rough.
Yeah.
It's like he stopped all momentum to jump backwards into Orton.
Like he gathered to jump after taking the stunner. So it was like he took the stunner and then went, oh shit, and then
Scott Hall
popped
fashion.
into the Scott
no,
Hall
well,
at least
there's a
sold
hard
it.
stop of motion in that ring.
That's true.
Like no one is moving, and then Austin jumps up in the air and turns into Orton. I get. I just think Theory's timing was off just by a smidge.
They just they got to clean that up a little bit. The spot itself is already ridiculous, but the fact that it was botched was what made it worse. Like you could have sat here and had fun with it, like, oh my god, look at how stupid this bump is. He took the stunner into the RKO, yada yada. But the fact that he fucked it up is where it's like,
true. And then, who do you think comes out of that? Do you think Logan retains that?
Yeah.
Really? You think Logan retains out of
Yep.
WrestleMania? I hope not. We got enough part timers. I don't need another one.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see KO as champion. Orton has been champion, and not a single championship has been memorable as U.S. champion.
Yeah, that's true. What was
Yeah.
it? 2018. I think was the last time he held the U.S. title.
If Orton's not, I mean, if KO's not a heel doing the face of America gimmick again,
Face.
he's not winning that belt.
I would prefer Owens out of the three options because I'm tired of the people that are kind of there.
Well, unless
Yeah.
I mean, unless they end up going with Logan with LA versus LA Knight for LA Knight to take that title.
The only reason I say Logan's winning is because they just did that Prime deal.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So
I just like I said,
don't.
I'm tired of the part time. You
Yeah,
know,
I just think it would be weird if he loses at WrestleMania and the next PLE he just isn't on the show.
Yeah.
So I say the next couple months he's gonna be champion.
I would be fine with an LA
SummerSlam.
Knight
Yeah,
winning to take
He'll
it
lose it
out.
at SummerSlam
Yeah.
to hopefully LA Knight, or they come up with something. But
And then I guess what there's with Naomi attempting to save Bailey, I guess that'll be her backup for Mania, and or maybe a third person.
Bianca
Yeah, that's something I was thinking. Bianca maybe reluctantly.
or Jade actually might not even need it because Asuka may be injured.
Well, I like that. But I saw Jade was trending for a little bit because I guess she got tired of people asking her when she was gonna actually wrestle. And she was like, "Never. I make enough money just doing this. Why would I get in the ring?" I was like, that's a pretty good response to that. Just fuck you guys.
Yeah. But it is kind of crazy that they made a big deal because they did make a huge deal of signing
her
Jade.
just to have her show up at a Rumble.
Like she's shown up at multiple shows, was made this big deal, had this big showing at the Royal Rumble, and still hasn't wrestled a single match being signed on contract.
Yeah, it is.
Where you're not even hurt.
Yeah, that is the weirdest thing. I don't know what they're saving her for other than a Mania pop.
For her to for her to actually be able to wrestle a decent match.
that they're trying to clean it up.
Jay's matches were not.
Were they not? See, I didn't follow her that much, so I wasn't sure.
Like
they were like Goldberg-esque.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They
few
kept
big
them
moves.
short. Yeah, they kept them short so that she could do her shit.
Big boot, kip up, jaded. She won.
Gotcha.
Right.
Like
spear, jackhammer, it's over.
Yeah.
Like
Just
that's what they did. That's what they did for her because
she wasn't that great.
I look at her, right? She looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was an athlete model turned wrestler. And it's not like she was like Tiffany Stratton or Sol Rocca or any of the NXT girls where it just clicked.
Yeah.
She was trained by Bryan Danielson in AEW and seemed like she was learning things, but it wasn't
quick
at the pace that So her going to WWE, it's an uphill battle.
Gotcha.
To get because you don't want her to be sloppy because it just shows like you spent all this money to take her from AEW because she could have made a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
The only reason she took the WWE deal is because of exposure.
True.
Yeah.
So it's cool, but you don't want her looking like a mess because that makes the WWE brand look bad.
Gotcha.
Also, we didn't talk about speaking of exposure because that was a big argument going around too. Is like WWE's not offering these free agents more money. Obviously, AEW is outbidding for these free agents with your Okadas, your Will Ospreys, your Mercedes Monet. And I did laugh because like some of the stuff is like a disingenuous kind of thing. Like I shared the thing and it was like, oh, they don't need WWE. They're gonna wrestle in bigger events than WrestleMania. And I went, oh, let's not be realistic.
They don't need. Look, because all of them have said it. Osprey said it. Okada has probably said it. WWE is willing to give out the money, but it's just AEW has a better because Will's thing wasn't the money that kind of sealed the deal. It was the
It's a better
convenience.
schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's part of it too, right? Like AEW has the better schedule. They're going to be making either more money or close to the same money to work less. Sure, take it, right?
Yeah.
I do think part of it, like I don't know what the likelihood of Will going to WWE was, or it could have been like a let's drive up the price kind of thing.
Yeah.
More power to him if that's the case, right? Because it just made more sense. He made more sense for AEW. Would it have been fun to see him in WWE? Sure. Same thing with Okada.
Yeah.
Did it make sense? Probably not. Is WWE closing business for good because they didn't sign these three people? No.
No.
Um,
Other reasons,
I think, but I think
but it
W.
was just the. Go
I
ahead.
think Meltzer had it better. They don't need it.
what?
Would be no. In this, when he was talking about Osprey being better than Cody, he did make this point though. They don't need. They don't need Osprey.
No,
They really don't.
no.
They have a giant roster, and they could probably build someone up to be as well known and as good as Osprey.
Oh, sure. Well, that
So
was the point I think we were making last week. Was are they really missing out on some of these people? No, because they can.
make their
Not
own.
saying that they just make people left and right, but they have NXT and the Performance Center to
Wider
build
pool.
these people to
Yeah.
get. You know what I mean? Like they have all these people coming up. Look at all these people that have been doing really well. I can't even remember the girl's name that got a bunch of attention a couple weeks ago. Um, she kind of came out of nowhere and was doing really good. Like, look at all these women in NXT that just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and it was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and the joke is like, where's Shawn Michaels finding these women? Like, what the fuck is
Instagram.
going on?
But no,
Yeah, no, well, well, at least one of them, but
no, this is
um,
more than one. It's a few.
Jesus.
right. But you know, not to be that guy either. I mean, if you look at the ratings, it's not like AEW popped a huge rating in comparison to what they've been hitting,
Yeah.
right? So what we were saying last week about like WWE trying to play it safe in the sense of like I'm not going to offer Okada a 13
Roman
and a half
Reigns money.
million, 4.5 million a year contract kind of thing for a guy who we're not sure is going to move the needle in that sense, right? Like we're not sure how much he's going to bring in terms of more eyes, more whatever. Especially for the casual WWE audience that might not even know who that is. So it's tough. I think some of the it's funny because the arguments online are very disingenuous. All In was a great show in terms of attendance, in terms of performance, backstage things notwithstanding. Um, but to they had one big show and then to be like, well, they're gonna wrestle in front of bigger crowds than WrestleMania does, and it's like, all right, guys, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
WrestleMania is still the standard bearer, the gold standard of your PLE / pay-per-view of your like big event of big events. Like
Yeah. It's cool.
let's
It's cool. But I just think when most people say they join AW, they kind of just bring up things other than money that
sure,
were
yeah, and
the deal ender.
right,
So it's dependent on the person, and don't think about it from WWE doesn't want to shout out the money. It's more of that person looked at WWE's schedule and how they operate and go, that's a little bit too much. I'd rather have a more relaxed schedule where I could probably move because most of these people are people that will move out of the country.
Yeah.
right,
And also, it's been reported that Mercedes Moné's contract has maybe part her contract may be part in New Japan
sure.
because her her contract kind of ended while she was injured. So maybe she's doing shows in New
Trying to
Japan
make
because they
updates for her contract. Yeah,
exactly. And also with Stardom now being affiliated with
partnered with
AEW, yeah,
yeah,
we're getting Forbidden Door being AEW, New Japan, CCML, and then CMLL.
CMLL and then
Yeah,
Stardom. Yeah,
yeah. So it's like again, one of the big things she made about her promo in AEW is she's making the women's revolution global.
right.
So it feels like before she goes back to WWE, she wants to check off a list of people she wants to face that you can't find in WWE.
Yeah, and that they
That
won't let you
international
find.
that international talent, but also that could shift drastically with Triple H being in charge. As we see, they're taking more dates in independent
Yep.
promotions or GCW with Bloodsport during WrestleMania weekend.
Bring other
That might
promotions over
change.
for pay per
Well, they also
views.
had the All Japan thing too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, so like we're
They're
and
slightly,
TNA obviously like they've partnered
yeah.
with.
So they're slightly opening their doors. So this conversation becomes less about ratings and money, more about like who's doing
yeah,
Right.
doing what to help wrestling as a whole.
yeah.
And that's
That's
why I
where it
laugh
comes from, free agent.
like certain people fit in certain spots more than others.
Yeah.
And so we get here and we're like, oh, these three, like it's not fair to say that those three, because again, all three of them, I mean, obviously there was talks of Sasha going back as Sasha, but she ended up going to AEW, Mercedes Mone. Like
Yeah.
that one was kind of a it could go either way kind of thing. The other two, I think we all
It was
really,
AEW. Will
yeah,
Ospreay was AEW bound from the moment he said
right,
he was leaving New Japan.
Yeah.
correct,
Okada was pretty much AEW bound from the moment
correct.
he said he was leaving New Japan because he worked well with the Bucks. He was known for them. He got the same agent as the Bucks and Kenny
Right.
Omega. So it's like it makes the most sense. He's already wrestled on AEW television multiple times.
Like I'm trying to think of one
Like
really other than Mercedes that was like, oh man, that could have went either way.
Thomas Tama Tamatonga. He's reportedly going to AEW, not AEW, WWE.
Right.
That's another one that could have went either
That
way.
could have went either way, right? So that, but then we don't discuss those where it's like, well, WWE's losing all the big free agents, they're in the shitter and blah, blah. And it's like, guys, first of all,
Not as
why do you
dependent on free
care?
agents
Like,
as we used to be.
if you already don't like WWE, why do you care that they're not signing big free agents? Shouldn't you be happy about that? Like, I don't understand why we're not celebrating. Like, if you're again, the tribalism itself is stupid. You should be able to enjoy both shows. You don't have to enjoy everything on every show. I don't enjoy everything about every person I like on every show. I just watched the Danielson match, and I can't stand the let's sit in front of each other and slap the shit out of each other spot.
I love it.
When you do it every time, it gets it's the same thing. What's the joke I make? How many forearm trading shots have they done in these matches for this show? Like,
Yeah.
there's a time to do it, right? If you're doing that like yay boo spot, right? They call it, like where both guys are tired, they're standing up, they're helping each other up, and they're punching each other. One's yay, one's boo, yada yada. But like when you're just like slapping the person and then you're waiting to be slapped, and then you're slapping the person and you're waiting to be slapped, and then you're slapped.
No,
Like
your turn.
it's so silly to me, especially when he just did this like a couple of weeks ago with Zack Sabre.
Yeah.
But that's Japanese strong style. That's how that just worked. That's how
Right.
that worked. So if you're not a fan, you're just not gonna like it, which is also respectable. Like not every wrestling fan likes every wrestling style.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I mean.
I
Like,
hate Eddie Kingston.
again, if
Yeah, fucking
but if it again, that spot can work in certain situations, but when you have a guy deliberately sitting in front of the other guy and the other guy sits down to sit with him to slap each other, and
but
I'm
that's
like,
specifically a Japanese strong style thing,
yeah, I
and
don't
that's
know.
also a Shibata thing.
Right.
What does that bread have to do with this?
What?
Oh Lord.
Anyway. But yeah, so it's just, we gotta get away from all this unnecessary discourse online of my team's winning, and it's like, first of all, unless you're employed there, it's not your
Weird.
team, right? Like it's
Like NFL fans.
right. That's your favorite team.
Yeah.
It's not your team, right?
Hey, I got stock in the Packers. I don't know.
How do you get cyberbullied in this day and age? How does that exist? Just turn off the fucking computer.
Right.
Never
It's
mind.
just-
Never mind.
Sorry, that's my favorite
No,
quote. That's my favorite Twitter
it's
quote.
something way worse. I did. speaking of kind of, you were talking about numbers and like show numbers and whatnot. I did see something. I don't know how true this is, but I've seen a few reports that WWE is supposed to be actually cutting back how many house shows they do to kind
I get
of
it. To save
That would
money.
be good for.
Touring.
the
I mean, it would
superstars.
be bad for touring for like people that want to see them more.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking about from the wrestler standpoint.
I was gonna say it would be good for the actual like wrestlers
Let them
to
have a
not have
break
to
and
work as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep seeing stuff where they're supposed to be kind of, I don't know how drastic, I don't know if we're talking like one per month that they're taking out, or if they're taking out, quite a few. But yeah, I'm like you. I think you'll start seeing some of the stuff change for superstar benefits. Letting them have the time to recover, letting them have the time to keep training and not, and to have the downtime as well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference.
And then reluctantly, the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up for tonight is this Jake Paul, Mike Tyson nonsense. When is this scheduled to happen? Is it?
I don't know the specifics.
Let me find out.
And then if you can find what
I'm
the
so
exact
annoyed with
rules
it.
are, or see if I can.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'll pull all that up. Instead of doing it on my phone, I'm gonna need it here. All right, where is it? Fucking stupid.
Headgear, Jesus.
Yeah, so let me see. Is this it? Oh, apparently no headgear will be used, contrary to previous speculation.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good pussy.
So
Because
this
originally,
was
what
3
was it?
days ago.
Paul was going to be allowed to use hair gear, but Tyson couldn't.
But Tyson wasn't. Will it tell me? Use of headgear rumored. It's not really telling me what I want. Okay, this isn't quite. All right, hold on. Sorry.
I've seen some wild ones. Basically.
Well, apparently it was like, Paul can use performance enhancing drugs and won't get tested for it, whereas Mike Tyson has to get tested before the fight. Does it tell me when the match is? I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Apparently, there's a lot coming out that he's denying a lot of these bullshit rules.
No, what?
Yeah, I'm not seeing a date for it anywhere, which is annoying me.
Saturday, July 20th, 2024.
Oh, okay.
AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
Thought it was crazy.
Dallas?
Yeah.
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 Me and Logan tag teaming, us wearing headgear. All of this is bullshit. If you believe that, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't be allowed to vote. You shouldn't be allowed to do. Okay.
Apparently, the tag team is fake. The headgear was fake. All of he's
So
claiming that all of it's bullshit.
So it's just regular. It was a regular
expedition or exhibition, not expedition.
You made the same mistake.
Yeah,
I did.
It's pretty impressive. We did that in unison. The same mistake.
So, I mean, here's the thing, right? If you look at the training videos from one to the other,
yeah,
and you just remember the fact that one of those people is Mike Tyson,
and he bit an ear off.
Even at 60 years old, he is Mike Tyson.
That's what we said about the Mike Tyson. Who did he fight during
Roy Jones?
Yeah, and it wasn't that great of a boxing match.
No.
So, as much as I want to say Mike Tyson's gonna kill,
but it's Mike Tyson. It was an out of shape Mike Tyson versus an out of shape Roy Jones. To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like he's kind of taking this relatively seriously, in the sense of his training. So I mean, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to fight Mike Tyson at 60.
No,
I wouldn't want to fight Mike Tyson at 70, but
He could still be dead, and
Right.
I'd be still kind of scared to fight him. Like,
Right.
just come off with
His corpse.
just
There are some people you just never want to fight. And Mike is one of those, Tyson's one of those guys. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
even when he was like happy-go-lucky, fat Mike Tyson, stoned all the time, I still don't want to get punched by that dude. Like, I just don't. It's just not.
It makes me think of my favorite Mike Tyson moment, and it's him because he had that animated TV show for a bit there,
Yeah.
where he's like a fucking ghost hunter or something. They go to
No,
this.
it's not a ghost hunter.
Was
It's
it
like
not? I thought it was like he was like
like
Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo
What?
style.
Okay, we're fucking splitting hairs here.
Oh, okay.
Fucking ghost hunter, monster hunter, fucking rich
Yeah.
people and mass hunter. I don't fucking know.
Tyson Mysteries.
Yeah, but they go to this hotel, and his daughter hits a bell or hits like the front desk bell, and he just knocks his buddy out. And he goes, "God damn!" He goes, "I hear a bell and I just lose it. Like it's hard to get rid of." Just
I hear a bell and I go for the kill.
yeah, that's what it is. I hear a bell and I go for the kill. I can't help it. Oh God, I hope he kills him.
Yeah, so
do the world a favor.
I think we're all in agreement here that if Tyson loses this fight,
It's absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't believe
It's
there's
all. I
any
mean,
way.
here's the problem. I think all of those fights have been rigged anyway. Like they've all been for show. Anybody who's losing is taking a dive and getting a massive payday for it. Like
Yeah.
it's all for show. Which one of them boxed an actual boxer and like got the floor wiped with him, and then I think he still technically won the fight or something like that. I don't remember. Or did he actually lose?
Jake has been the one that's actually been boxing. Logan only boxed KSI and
Yes, but I don't think Jake has fought an
Floyd.
actual.
He fought Tyson Fury's little brother, and that
Tommy
was
Fury, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the one he lost. And
He
that
did
was by
lose,
decision.
Nate Diaz, he won. Andre August, he won. Ryan Borland, he won.
I think he's like 8-1.
9-1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't believe in a world where Anderson Silva loses to him.
Yeah.
Well, again, he's fighting guys well past their prime.
Yeah. He's not fighting actual.
And he's fighting MMA guys who are well past their prime.
He's also fighting, not even that, he's fighting MMA guys whose biggest credential in MMA wasn't boxing.
Right.
You know, because like Nate Diaz, they're not Nate Diaz, but
the biggest competition, and even that people say is rigged because there was a clear moment where he had Jake not like
and then hesitated,
and just didn't swing.
Well, there's also the moment where Jake goes for, I guess, the kill shot without a better term, and you see where he sees it and actually lowers his hand to take the hit. And it's like, you were clearly blocking that from the get-go and just decided to not block that anymore. It was like, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing he loses to Silva and Diaz. Just something about that. Like, especially Diaz, because he's still, even... I mean, doesn't Nate Diaz still technically fight in the UFC? Is he still active?
I don't know if he's active.
No.
Is he not? I thought he was still. Didn't he just fight McGregor like a few?
No, because
that was years ago.
Yeah,
that was pre-COVID.
Was it? God damn.
McGregor hasn't fought in.
Oh yeah, Diaz is no longer active in the UFC. He's a free agent and has retired. Or no, sorry, that's not him. Diaz is free agent, but he's not currently in UFC. Huh. Well, like I said, I hope he knocks him the fuck out. But that is all I have for tonight, gentlemen. Is there any final thoughts you want to leave before we roll this one out?
Nope, I got nothing.
Besides KJ getting Orange Cassidy and Uncle Ruckus's autographed, was it yesterday? You got it on hand? I knew you did.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Don't read it.
Whatever you do, don't read it. Recognize what that was. That was a bad idea. Let's see. I have Sting, but his is kind of Orange Cassidy and Sting is in the book.
He didn't get Ric Flair's. He wasn't that big of a fan.
That $89? Hell no.
I'd have done it, but
Sorry.
I'm an idiot.
For Matt Hardy,
I wish I still had my my signature, like my autographs and
Adam
stuff.
Page, McFoley, Danhausen,
Dan,
Like, these
Jesus
are-
Christ.
Ruben
I've-
Soho,
This
Lance
guy,
Archer.
This guy spent
And that's-
$2,000
Ron
just in
Simmons.
autographs.
No, some of these are free. The Ron Simmons and Lex Luger ones are
Ron
free.
Simmons. My God, Ron Simmons.
Fandango.
I think
That
mine
should have
were
been free.
either relatively inexpensive or free because I was a kid.
That's felt
Yeah.
bad for you.
Yeah.
No,
This is,
well,
Sting.
yeah, that's dope.
And I just like the Orange Cassidy one because he was in character the entire time of getting this signature. So it's just the laziest thing.
Oh my God.
Literally just wrote cool.
No, I had a video game store in my neighborhood growing up as a kid, and they would get like wrestlers for like signings and
Oh,
stuff
okay,
like that.
gotcha.
So like I got autographs from like Trish Stratus, Billy Gunn, Rey Mysterio,
Ooh, that'd have been a cool
Mick
one.
Foley. Nice.
But these were from the what's it called? The Wrestle Crates.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that is where we're going to leave you guys. As always, it's been a pleasure, and we will catch you guys on the other side of the ring. Good night.
Adios.